Ready?
Yeah.
Go. Jessica, you have a question?
Yeah. So with the historical events, are you saying those are the things you include in the body paragraph?
These are things that you will include in the body paragraph. And I will give you a formula of what I'll be looking for in a moment. So, if you are if the question is saying colonial policy, if one of their policies was raising revenue, it's policy, right? And it's a little bit more eloquent than just saying economic. Does that make sense? So if one of their policies was raising revenue, Jessica, I definitely need to see something in this list of all your historical content better be about raising revenue, like specific examples. Townsend Acts, Sugar Act, Stamp Act, all right? Make sense? That's what we're looking for. And then that needs to be in your body paragraph. So then 4, write an outline. And I don't mean like some elaborate Roman numeral outline. We're talking about paragraph 1, 2, and 3. Body paragraphs. So body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, body paragraph 3. And put your events, Sugar Act, Stamp Act, etc., you know, coercive acts, whatever. You want to talk about punishing, whatever you want to do. So put your historical facts in your body paragraphs where you see them going to fit. Logan, do you have a question?
I do.
Oh, super.
Is part of our DBQ create the outline? Like, is it?
No, it is not part of it.
So, like, if we don't write an outline, we won't get penalized?
No, but typically when kids don't write an outline, they don't have an essay with any direction, and you will get penalized for not having an essay with a direction. So there's a correlation. Sort of like, Logan, you have a big game coming up, and you choose not to take batting practice. Guess what? You go in a game, oh no, you go 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a jam shot to the first baseman. Not a very good way of preparing. Correct?
I'm more of a first swing kind of guy.
I know, and the typically first swing kind of guys never really produce. But we'll go on first pitch swinger seminars later.
Okay.
All right, write the outline, take the time. All right, preparation, effort, keys to life, Logan. Preparation and effort. All right, 5. Are we good with step 4? Make the outline. Make it. Let's do it, Logan. All right, take the effort. Faith.
Just a quick question in general. How many minutes will we get to prepare?
I will wrap that up. Yeah, it's a great question. The question was how many minutes? The prep time. We call it the prep time. All right, I'll tell you in a little bit. More on that later. All right. Read documents. Note the source and find the thesis of each document. When I say thesis, what is the main argument of the document? What is the document trying to tell you? What should you be getting from it? So, you should be able to find, like, what is it directly telling you? Oh, it is a picture of the Boston Tea Party. Direct, and then what can you infer? Inference. Inferences is big. So if you see a document of the Boston Tea Party, you can infer from that document of a bunch of pasty white guys dressed up as Indians. You can infer then, of course, the Tea Act, Townsend duties. So you can, like, that's what you should be able to infer from a document. Other acts. All right. Then, after you read your documents, place docs in outline. All right. I'm going to use documents A and C, B and D, and E and H. Put them right there. Put them in your outline. Magda.
Do you have to use all the documents given to us?
And here's the formula. Greg, the question was, if you didn't hear at home, It said, do you have to use all of the documents? Absolutely not. Our formula, typically, I'm going to give you typical. Here's typical. For APUS, Advanced Placement, United States History, document-based question writing, you want to go 2 documents and 2 historical events per body paragraph. 2 and 2. We call that the 2 and 2 ratio. Use 2 documents and 2 historical events. Now, a document might go, again, so if there's a document on the Boston Tea Party, and you know that you maybe that could have been one of your things that you already thought about in your treasure chest of history. Maybe you already wrote down the Boston Tea Party. All right, so now you have to kind of go off of that, which what caused it, what was the effects of it. All right, so if the document is a Tea Party, well, then you use the coercive acts. And so now, as a cause effect. And so you use the document, and then you use the outside piece of history together to support your thesis. So use the documents to support the thesis. And that is what I will be looking for. Now let's say you use a document more than once. Let's say you just love the Boston Massacre document. Oh no, right? You love it. And you use it a couple times. Well then, make sure then you bring in another document to balance that out. So if we're looking for like at least 6 different documents. So that is the ratio there. Then, after you put your documents in your outline, number 7, write your introduction. Take one step back in time. Your first sentence of your essay, one step back in time. You need to show that you understand where this event fits in the big picture. All right? So, if you're writing an essay on the American Revolution, you probably would want to start with colonial period. One sentence. So obviously, someone said, I think 1763 was the end of salutary neglect, right? Right? Remember that at one time, Logan? Woo! What a great place to start. So now you've already kind of set the stage. You already talked about colonial. So the colonial aspect of Great Britain. One step back in time. Like what was going on prior. Then transition into the time period. Transition to the thesis. All right? Thesis. Last sentence in intro. Yes, sir.
Do you want some type of hook?
Speaking of quotes, we got some. We have some no-nos, some never ever do this, some don'ts of DBQ writing. All right, we'll get to that in a second. So, Faith, you'd asked about time frame. 1 through 6 will take you 15 minutes eventually. So you should be able to get through all of this 1 through 6 in 15 minutes. That's ideal. All right. I don't know if it's going to be able. You guys will be able to do that at first, but by the end, by May, you'll be knocking things out left and right. All right. The more we practice this, now y'all are very good writers, right? So that I don't question. But what you're not very good at yet, because you haven't done it enough, is 1 through 6. So that will, a lot of our practice will be on that. And we're trying to get that all done. All right. And then obviously then going to your body paragraphs, your conclusion should be one step into the future. So obviously whenever we write our DBQs, it's after the unit test. We've already started our next unit, so you know what we're on. So obviously what comes after the American Revolution? Independence. And so you kind of talk about the early America, and this radical idea of a republic government, we'll see how that plays out in the early Confederation period, which most nations believed we would fail. We've got the last laugh. We're America. We're the best. All right? So conclusion. Why are we laughing? We don't, America is the best. Conclusion. One step in the future. All right. So we're going to some do's of DBQs. Most important thing is content. You have to know your content. If you don't know your content, guess what? You don't deserve a good grade. It's that simple. Know your content. There's no substitute for content. Well, you know, there's these guys fighting these taxes. Oh, they hated the taxes. Really? That's what you're going to write? Well, here you go. Have a D. All right? Know your content and show change over time. Show cause, effect. That's higher level. That's what we need. So how is this different than before? If you can keep addressing that, how there's a shift in policy, a shift in historical change, youngins, you're looking at a pretty good essay. You're just knocking it out of the park. If you have those two things, you're golden. Some don'ts. No first person. No I, we. Well, we fought those redcoats. It was great. We threw the tea. No, there's no we. There's no I. I think the American Revolution is really cool. None. You weren't there. Right historically. All right? The American Revolution. All right? The British Empire. That's all right. No we. We wrote the, me and Jefferson, we wrote the Declaration. No. What?
Yes, I'm a Frenchman.